Hello Gemini, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the energies and predictions for the sign of Gemini for the end of May. Now do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and you can also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right, Gemini, let's go ahead and get into this reading here. Now, the timeline on this reading will be from the last week of May, so that's May 26th, all the way to June 11th. The reason I chose June 11th is because that is the full moon in Sagittarius. So we'll see what's coming to a close here for you as we close out the month of May and roll into June. All right. Let me go ahead and get all the cards out here, get everything set up and in view, and then we'll get right into it for you. All right. And I think that's looking just about good enough to me. Okay, energy on the bottom. Gemini, you do have the Queen of Pentacles. I think right now some of you are potentially trying to take like a really wise approach to some money situation. I think there's a money situation here that's close to you during this period of time. You can see the queen here holding the pentacle in their hand. I also think that as I look at the rabbit here, this idea of like spring is coming into my mind. Rabbits, I believe, are associated with luck in some way, I believe, and something sort of being sprung, okay, in your life. As I look at this rabbit energy here, also notice how the queen here is surrounded by abundance. You see the grapes here, grapes, crops and grapes indicate abundance in the tarot. And also luxuries. You can even see the necklace that the queen is wearing. I think that there are some aspirations financially for some of you that you're looking at here. And I think there's like a bit of a financial matter close to you. I think you're trying to take a wise approach to this as well, as the Queen of Pentacles is a really wise person in the tarot. They can give trusted advice. Additionally, the Queen of Pentacles can give trusted advice. So there may be somebody in your situation that is maybe like trying to go to bat for you in some way. Let's go ahead and try to break this down. But I think the idea of like something being sprung or something springing forward for you here is probably the biggest thing that I'm taking away from this Queen of Pentacles on the bottom. You have a very interesting reading here, Gemini, and I think that there are some solid work timelines that are going on for you. I get the sense that many of you are working very hard right now on something. I think that you're completing a project, or there's something here that is pretty close to you that could be profitable in some way. And maybe this is like you work for a company, right? You work for a business. And you know the work that you're doing right now is putting you in a favorable position or a good light, something like this here. If you don't work, I think maybe some of you are tending to your investments. You're maybe looking at your real estate, if you have some, or you're looking at your accounts, whatever the case may be, and you're trying to figure out like, okay, how can I make this last, or what will I do with this? I may be talking to some people who are retired. Not all of you, but I may be talking to some. In the middle here, you do have the King of Cups. This person is really associated with a number of things, and one of them could be like having this idea of a dream or a vision, okay, for yourself, especially as it connects to this like prosperity message that I was getting with the Queen of Pentacles. Having this dream or vision. Also, if there may be an emotional storm that you are sort of in right now, something that also may be brewing for you. Okay, but this person is well equipped to handle any emotional storms. As you see, they're sitting in the middle of the ocean, right? They're sitting in the middle of the ocean. They're ready to handle this here with that King of Cups in the middle. So the reason I say there may be something emotional that's going on right now, you also have this Five of Cups, right? So we'll talk about that more as we go along. I think that you're in a position where you can work through this, okay? You can really work through this. I'm also getting water here, okay? I'm being really drawn to the water on the cards. There are a number of cards here that have water in them. Even though we only have, 2 Cups cards, the water image is showing up for me. Water is connected to your emotions, your happiness, your joy, your dreams as well. So let's see if we can break this down a little bit more here. So you have the Three of Pentacles, the Chariot, and the Knight of Wands. Notice in this illustration, the Chariot is driving through water, right? That's not always the illustration in other Chariot cards, but in this one it is. And I think that maybe some of you are processing something right now successfully at the emotional level. I think the thing about the Chariot is it's about success in the tarot, okay? And it also says that there's a path for you available that you can walk down or drive through. It's also represented, it's also connects to achievements. And so I think that there is probably more poignantly an element of achievement here for you, Gemini, at this time. I think that you're achieving something pretty significant. There are multiple timelines I'm throwing out for you because I think that, this is a general reading and people are going to be going through multiple things and you may be going through multiple things as well. Two things can be true at the same time, right? And I think this is a hard concept for people to understand, but I think there may be multiple things for you going on here. And I think that there could also be two things that are true here for you at the same time that's happening. You have this Three of Pentacles with the Chariot. I think there's a sense of achievement here. Okay, you can see the colleagues. The Three of Pentacles represents your colleagues or the people you work with. You can see that they're working on the plans, They've actually just built this statue and they're looking at the next thing in this case. So I think that you've achieved something in your workplace if you're working, or in your life in some way if you're not working. Like maybe you've built a house, you've had a house built, or you've done some sort of passion project, or there's something here that you've achieved at this period of time that you can feel pretty proud of, I think, as well. This idea of achievement is showing up, especially with the Queen of Pentacles on the bottom. I was getting this idea of like your abundance, your resources here, springing forward or being like sprung into action in a sense, as I look at the rabbit, right? You then have this Knight of Wands. There may be a move on the horizon for some of you, okay? Knight of Wands can really connect to a move. But on another level, the Knight of Wands, it connects to this reading also in what I was saying earlier, which is the Knight of Wands person is a jack of all trades, okay? This is a skilled person, somebody who's skilled at multiple things, right? And I was talking about how like two or more things are happening here. I think you may be juggling a lot. There's a lot on your plate here with this Knight of Wands as well. And yeah, I think you're kind of like keeping everything and keeping all the plates in the air at this time. I think there's a lot going on for you, but I do think that there may be a move here. You do have two move cards, okay? That is a change in residence. You may be thinking about this here. You may be putting these plans in motion, as you see the Three of Pentacles card here is talking about that. It may not be happening right away, but you're putting the plans in motion. In the middle column, you do have the Five of Cups, the King of Cups, and the Justice card. Okay, so I wonder if there was some sort of disappointment that you're processing here, but you're doing it in a successful way. Five of Cups indicates disappointment in the tarot, something that you feel a little melancholy or down or sad about. But if you watch a lot of tarot readings, one thing that's really, you may have heard other people point this out, or maybe even me point this out, but think about this Five of Cups. There's gold in the Five of Cups, right? Because there are two cups that have not been spilled behind the person. There are two cups that are upright. They just have to turn around, right? They just have to turn around and see the two cups that are upright, that have not been spilled yet. And so while this person, you can see they're wearing they're holding a love locket here. There's a heart that they're holding there. Well, this person is down right now. They're absolutely not out, right? There's a way to work through this situation with the Five of Cups. And I think that you're successfully processing something here. By the way, I think I'm also feeling like Mars, like Martian, like Mars energy, in that this is about this. Mars is really a planet of action, war, but like action, pushing forward for something here at this time. Yeah, and I think that it's, for many Geminis right now, a time to put some plans in motion is what I feel here. Because you have these aspirations with your money situation that seem to be pretty front and center for you. Maybe even about a move, change that's happening here with the Knight of Wands. This is one that you're ready for, you're excited, you're passionate about it, okay? Then you have the Justice card. This is Libra energy. It's about your karma in life. Okay. Remember, karma doesn't. It's you know, people hear this word karma and they get like sketched out about it. Karma is just we're always paying off and adding karma in our life. You know, it's like a bank account. You're debiting and crediting your karma all the time. You're not stuck with karma forever, like some people may believe. Karma is always being paid off. And so the idea here with the Justice card is this, that's represented in the scales. Scales going up, going down based on what you're doing in life. And the Justice card really says that we get the outcome, all parties get the outcome they deserve, right? All parties get the outcome they deserve. And so what steps are you taking to change the situation? What steps are you taking to improve a situation? Because I think there's an opportunity for this year for you, Gemini, at this time. You have the Nine of Wands, the Ace of Swords, and the Hierophant here in the final column. Okay, so you've got the Hierophant here. This is about tradition in the tarot, right? It's about tradition, and I think as I'm looking at the snake on, I think that's Krishna in this card. I believe so. As I'm looking at the snake, sometimes the Hierophant card can be around breaking tradition, okay? Being somebody who is going against the grain, so to speak, okay? A rule breaker, and I mean that in a good way. Somebody who's doing something different, because the Hierophant's rooted in tradition, okay? And I think that some of you are maybe approaching something in a way that you haven't approached before. You haven't approached it in a way before, in the way that you are now. And I think this idea of like breaking free from tradition is maybe something that you're maybe contemplating, you're thinking about, you're pondering, you're looking at here. You have the Ace of Swords, which is breakthrough energy. Okay, we could say break free energy as well here, as we look at the Ace of Swords with the Hierophant. Ace of Swords is about this new start or beginning in your life. Anything that you're feeling a little melancholic about or down about here with the Five of Cups and the King of Cups here, I think that this is a temporary situation, you know, and you're kind of ready here to take actions on something else. This may be a move. This may be starting a business. This is a good card for entrepreneurship, as this person is the Jack of all trades here, the Knight of Wands. I'd want to get that with some other energies here, but maybe even getting like side hustling here, like side hustle business here going on. Then I have the Nine of Wands, which can indicate resistance. The Nine of Wands says, if you feel very strongly about something, it's time to go the distance, because the Nine of Wands is the card before the completion, right? So the 10 is the next card, which completes the Wands. If you feel very strongly with something, about something, go the distance. Chariot is all about going the distance. Why don't we go ahead and clarify the situation even more here for you, Gemini, and we'll see what's coming forward in the clarifications. We'll start off by pulling some oracle cards for you, and then we'll move into the tarot clarifications. Okay. All right. Energy on the bottom. Love this card. You have the Magic Guardian. Unlock the magic within. Similar vibes of this Magic Guardian to the Knight of Wands in this case. You can see the flame here, I believe. No, that's like a whatever. I'm attaching a flame to this bowl here, but I think there's smoke coming out of it, so there's probably a flame somewhere. But it's this idea of like being passionate and passionately creating something, you know, is what I'm feeling here for you with the Knight of Wands and the Magic Guardian. Being able to make something here, especially out of this situation. You have Arrow, surround yourself with protective energy, as well as Air Guardian, shift your perception. Well, you are an air sign, Gemini, and I think that your perception in your situation is always changing. It's always changing, and that's a good thing, okay? We can always change our perception on something if we want to. Like if we need to, right? There are times where we have to shift our perception. You know, when new information comes, what will you do with that new information? Will you continue, even though there's something new here, or will you shift? And I think there's maybe also something new here with the Ace of Swords showing up, similar to that Air Guardian. Ace of Swords, Air Guardian, similar energies here. You have Elder, move beyond ancestral patterns. Bingo bango, that's the thing here with the Hierophant. It's amazing how these oracle cards connect many times to these readings. You then have Shaolin Master, be graceful in movement and action. Okay, that is similar to the King of Cups, Shaolin Master energy, right? being able to sit in the water, sit in the ocean, and be graceful as things maybe happen for you. But this idea of moving beyond ancestral patterns, I think, is a big one here, okay, with the Hierophant for you. You then here have trader, exchange energy to create abundance, which I really was getting here with that Queen of Pentacles for you at the beginning of this reading. So let's see what kind of clarifications we can get here as we go deeper into this reading. So let's clarify the original 9 tarot cards with more cards here for you and see what we have. Now, Gemini, I do appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I do hope things are going well for you, Gemini, as we close out this month. Okay. So you have the 5 of Wands. You have the Moon. Okay. And a Knight clarifying a Knight. Knight of Pentacles on the Knight of Wands. You know, here's what I feel like saying. Like, there are times in our lives where, like, we're very close to bringing something new in, or we're very close to, like, the next step. But just as we're there, we get anxious, we get paranoid, we get a little, like, uneasy. And that is the Moon card. And it really feels like you have an opportunity to push ahead on something, right? Just as you're ready to push ahead on something, the universe gives you a test, so to speak. And this test, it may be drumming up some anxieties or fears with the Moon energy. And, you know, the test is here to show you something about yourself, really. So I would say, if you, again, 9 of Wands, you feel very strongly about something, it's time to go the distance here. And yeah, you may be tested along the way. 5 of Wands, conflict, maybe with a colleague, maybe in a work situation, maybe with somebody else in your situation. Conflict here, arising. Okay, what will you do with this? How will you approach with this? You have this idea of Shaolin Master, be graceful in movement and action. What will you do with this, right? This is an opportunity to grow, expand, learn for you. Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands. Knight of Pentacles, I love to see this. This is about production, profit, and reward. Results, production, profit, results, reward, right? All of these things coming to fruition, something you've been in a long time, something you've been working towards a long time, coming in, a result. And it's a card that can indicate hard work, you know, really hard work around something. Let's see what else we have here. The 6 of Pentacles, not the 5. We have the 6 of Pentacles. You have the 7 of Swords, okay? And you have the 8 of Pentacles. All right. Wasn't expecting to see the 7 of Swords, but here it is. So what could this be telling us? Well, with the 7 of Swords, it may feel like there's some deception going on. Moon, 7 of Swords, challenging combination, because it may mean that something's hidden, missing, or that you can't see. There may be secrets, or there may be something that is a bit deceptive, right? Something that's hidden from you in some way. Okay, the 7 of Swords person is a card that can indicate stealing, sort of. Like this person stealing the swords. Something that's happening sort of behind your back here, right? This idea of there's something that you're not there's something that you're not seeing right now, okay? Something hidden from you. And what could this be around? It's challenging to say. What I would also say, though, with that 7 of Swords in a much more positive way is, like, can you create a unique strategy for yourself to work through any challenge that's coming forward? This person has to take a unique way to take the sword, has to create a unique way to take the swords. So is there like a way through something, and can you do that in a way that you haven't done before, right? Can you solve the problem in a unique or creative or different way that may be showing up for you here during this period of time? And it may be challenging because you're sort of like blindfolded, so to speak, with the moon here. But I think that you can successfully work through this. I love what's happening here in most of the reading, okay? With this 8 of Pentacles, another high skill card. You have 2 high skill cards, Knight of Wands, 8 of Pentacles. This also represents dedication to something. The 8 of Pentacles is like a higher version or a higher form of the 3 of Pentacles. Okay, it's like a progressed version of the 3 of Pentacles, because this person's also wrapping up a project. And at this point with the Eight of Pentacles, it may mean that people are coming to you for advice, or people are looking to you to solve problems. Okay, and so for that reason, it may indicate apprenticeship. You may have an apprentice under you, or you may be learning from someone else, but it's a very positive card. It can mean progress in work. Six of Pentacles, you're looking at how your money's coming in, how it's going out, what you're giving, what you're getting, that sort of energy, you know. You then have the Five of Swords, okay? You have the Page of Swords and the Lover's card. Lover's Hierophant is a marriage signature in the tarot, okay? It's a marriage combination when you get this card. But there's something that's a little different here with the marriage energy, okay? There may be some changes that are happening in that area for those of you already involved, or if you're contemplating this, some of you, this may take, if you're contemplating marriage to someone, there may be like a delay in this process as you have the Page of Swords. Okay, and it might just be like down to the wire type of energy here as you have the Five of Swords with the Nine of Wands. But the Lovers, it can represent contemplating a choice, like really thinking about a choice. It says that you have a deep choice to make in life. And it may indicate that for those of you who are not here for love or not involved with marriage stuff in this reading, the choice that you may be thinking about here is, am I going to continue to do this in the way that I was taught or the way that I've traditionally done something? Or am I going to sort of break through to something new? Neither choice is wrong. If some of you have traditionally done something the same way and it's working for you, great. But there is a set of you here that are like, can I figure this out in a different way, right? Has what I've been taught the right thing for me to continue doing, right? On the bottom, you do have the Five of Pentacles. There's a money situation here that's maybe making you a little uncomfortable with the Moon that you're looking to work through and strategize through. Okay, definitely not, you're not out in the dark here, okay? So let's see what's going forward here. Let's see what's happening here in the Kipper energies for you and see what's showing up in the Kipper cards. All right. All right. You have community. Okay, there's definitely an element of people here. Thief, I don't like that with the Seven of Swords. You have the Privileged Lady card. You have Child, Great Fortune, and Courtship. I think that some of you have an opportunity to come into some money here in some way, but you're a little bit sketched out about how it's going to happen. Thief, Seven of Swords, Moon, you're not exactly clear how it's going to happen, but the Great Fortune's a very good influence. Certainly this could be connected to an inheritance or a divorce settlement. This could also be connected to a payout around work, okay? Workers' comp or something like this, an insurance payout, something like this that's going on here, and the details are not exactly clear here. There's something about money here that needs to be brought forward. It needs to be brought into the light, so to speak. Like it needs to be clarified. Okay, it needs to be clarified. I think this is where I'm going to leave the reading. Thank you so much for being here. You do have official person on the bottom, which means that somebody is taking an interest in you for sure in the workplaces. In the workplace or in some area you're in a favorable position here, but there's something that needs to be clarified. Thank you for being here, Gemini. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll most certainly be talking to you again soon.